great Mark Jackson joins us on the program. Good morning, Mark. Thanks for joining us. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me. It's been a long time.
How would you sum up the Bucks-Nets yesterday, Game 4?
I think the Bucks ultimately, was committed to being a lot more physical, getting into the bodies of not just Kevin Durant, but the Nets in general. They had tremendous success doing it, took them out of rhythm, and they were in attack mode offensively. Giannis wasn't messing around, and he was more of a playmaker, mixing it up, getting guys involved and attacking the rim, and it allowed other guys to get going, and it allowed him to get going. So it was a perfect day for the Milwaukee Bucks yesterday.
What should the game plan be for Giannis and his approach? And certainly he's a different player, it feels like, in the playoffs than he is the regular season. But how would you have him attack the Nets?
Well, Jeff Van Gundy and I agree, but we disagree. He thinks he should shoot 0 3-pointers or he should shoot 100. It should be because he can get that shot anytime. And I understand that mentality. But my feeling is I don't have a problem with him shooting, 2 or 3 3-pointers in the rhythm of the game. So he's attacking the rim. He gets a dunk. He gets a layup. He gets an N1. And all of a sudden, the next time down the floor, he thinks he's got it going. And he feels comfortable and confident. And he steps into a rhythm 3. I'm fine with that. I think he's got to ultimately not take a bunch of them unless he's knocking them down because you're doing the Nets a favor. You're playing into their hands. So he's got to be in attack mode with the mentality of not settling on the offensive end, especially early, setting the tone. And then he's got to be a willing passer, take the double team and hit guys in rhythm on point, where those guys got to be confident and knock down shots also. So it's got to be a mixture of both in my mindset.
What is it with some of these players at the free throw line? And Giannis is there, and he's like paralysis by analysis. And then you got Ben Simmons as well. Are these all fixable, coachable things?
To me, they are, and it's minimizing the movement. It's minimizing the amount of time. I mean, you stand at the free throw line, over 10 seconds, and you're sitting there for what? I had a routine, but I didn't do a routine when I practiced, and I just, to be quite honest, I just did it just so that I could be remembered one day by the guy that held his hand up at the free throw line. So I don't think it's it would be harming him. Well, I know it wouldn't be harming him if he cut the routine short and stepped up to the free throw line and maybe in 5 seconds took a shot. He couldn't be any worse. So I think it is paralysis by analysis. They're overthinking it, and they can be much better free throw shooters if they put the time in, but you get a shooting coach with them and you develop routines and habits, and they will become better. I don't know if they'll ever be 90 or 95, but they certainly would be better.
But it's hard to be the guy at the end of a game if I can't have you handle the ball because I don't want to put you on the free throw line, or I can't have you go to the free throw line. And, with Ben Simmons and with the Greek Freak, these are marquee players.
I understand what you're saying, but I disagree because I played with a guy like let's say Dale Davis, a tremendous power forward that I played with that was a historically bad free throw shooter. But as a team, we didn't care whether he got fouled down the stretch because one thing we knew, he wasn't afraid to shoot the free throw. He was going to step up, and if he made or missed it, it wasn't going to be because he was afraid.
Yeah.
So you don't want guys that's going to be afraid of the moment, like Ben Simmons. I don't see Ben or Giannis afraid to shoot the free throws. So you develop the right habits, and then you make sure as a coach, I put them in position that where, okay, we're in the bonus. I'm not putting the ball in Ben Simmons' hands, understanding, that they're going to foul him and send him to the free throw line. Unless he's got a rhythm and we got a comfortable lead, then okay, you want to play that game, we can play it. But I'll develop some things to keep my best players on the floor.
If you're Steve Nash and I said you could have your choice, you could either have Harden back with Durant or Kyrie back. Who would you take?
I want them both.
No, you can't have both.
Well, the game's tomorrow. I want James Harden because I don't think that Kyrie Irving physically would be able to play tomorrow. But I think it makes it easier with just.
Let's say they're both healthy.
Oh, here you go. When I said I was going to do the interview, I said this guy's going to ask me a question and force me to answer something. I don't know what it is, but
I'm like Scottie Pippen guarding you. Okay.
Yeah, no, you're worse. And that's saying a lot.
Wow. Scotty, do you still see Scottie Pippen in your nightmares?
I see him all day long. What are you talking about? My nightmares. When I'm awake, I see him. I look back sometimes and just swat his hands off of me.
Was he the best defender?
He was an incredible defender. I think when you look at a guy like Gary Payton, when you look at Michael Jordan, when you look at Hakeem Olajuwon, I mean, those guys were elite, all-time great defenders. Alvin Robinson was a great defender.
Would you rather have Jordan guard you or Pippen?
I would rather have Jordan guard me if you said he had to guard me the whole game. And it's not a knock on his defensive, mentality and how great he is defensively. Scottie Pippen could, dog me the full length of the court and dog me for whatever amount of time I was on the court because he didn't have any pressure on him to carry the load offensively. If you asked Michael to do it, just like Phil asked Kobe to do it in the finals in 2000, Kobe was great at it, but he wasn't Scottie Pippen because he was trying to, get 40 on the other end. So it's a different mentality and it's a different commitment when this is what I have to do to win this game.
He's Mark Jackson, ESPN NBC or NBA analyst on ABC. Are you third in all-time assists?
Right now, I'm fourth. Steve Nash is one ahead of me. But when you say I say, oh wow. When you look at the list of guys that surround me, I pinch myself. That's when I get, it really is unbelievable. I've got no business on that list.
Do you think that Nash wanted to get one more than you and then retire?
No, I don't think it.
Okay.
I don't think it at all.
Okay.
I know it.
I got Chris Paul at 50 assists behind you. I think he's going to catch you.
That? Oh, way to go out on a limb.
But LeBron is 300 behind you. I think he's going to catch you.
Wow, you are really feeling yourself today with the predictions. You like Charles Barkley with the guarantees.
Paulie, is there anybody else who can catch Mark Jackson here before he gets kicked out of the top 10?
I didn't want to pile on, but Russell Westbrook is about a year away, year and a half.
Oh, man.
I mean, but think about the name. Everybody that surrounds me, they're Hall of Famers or first ballot Hall of Famers. Are they already in? So it's absolutely remarkable. Like I said, I'm honored to be in that position and to be discussed with those guys.
Are you a Hall of Famer?
I'm not in the Hall of Fame.
But do you think you should be in the Hall of Fame?
That's not up for me to discuss.
No, it's you. Do you think? Like if you ask me, do you think you're better than Bob Costas? I can't go, well, that's up for others. You just ask me.
Well, what's your answer?
You answer mine, then I'll answer.
Well, I finished my career second all-time in assists. I humbly submit.
Okay.
And to think about all the great players that have played in the history of this game, to be second all-time in a main category says a lot. Yeah. And it's an incredible feat for me. And I'm fine with where I am in history, and I'm at peace with it.
All right.
Did that answer your question? Now, what about you and Bob Costas?
Bob is better at certain things.
Oh, my goodness. I don't need all of that.
Do I think I'm better than Bob? I'm different than Bob. It'd be like me comparing you to Steph Curry. You both play point guard, but you do it differently.
Hold on. Let me get your address. I'm gonna send you a free dog with a leash. I mean, you scared? Come on, man.
No, I'm not. I own a dog. I got a puppy, Mark. I bought a dog. I did. I got a rescue.
Who would you take anybody's answer? Well, he's better than me in certain things. In certain areas, I'm stronger than him. No, you wouldn't. That's not the Dan Patrick I know and love. Bob's not listening to me. So what? I got your back.
I'm trying humility. It's something new for me. Okay.
That's true. That's true.
Okay.
Because when we would go out, you'd be like, "Yeah, Bob, I can't hold my jock strap. No way in the world. I'm better than him. No question."
I know. That is true.
I don't mean to tell your business, but
you just did. You just did. And you said that you should be coaching the Knicks. That you're far better than Thibs.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, now I can't talk out of school.
No,
okay.
with me saying that, they'd be like, "Oh, that's Mark throwing a bad, good joke at Dan." With you saying it, it'll be headlines.
What do you expect to happen with the Jazz and the Clippers? Because I have no idea how to handicap the Clippers right now.
It is tough to handicap the Clippers, and that's the worst thing you want to have as a coach or a player on a team. Who can I trust? Who can I go to? Who's going to show up? How are we going to play? It's unpredictable. They can very well win a championship, and they could very well lose in this round. It's unfortunate, but this is a team, I will say this, they don't lay down. I mean, they got down the previous series. They bounced back against Dallas. They're down against Utah, bounced back with a big win, and another win, in the next game really changes things. But the Jazz, it's an outstanding team that I say they're the second team, obviously the Warriors with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and their ability to shoot. So many teams are shooting threes, but there's only two teams in my mindset that have the ability to have shooters on the floor, and they're great shots every time. The Utah Jazz are loaded with, 4, 5, 6 shooters on the court, and the Warriors obviously have two of the best, if not the best, to ever do it.
Chris Paul and Kevin Durant, certainly Chris Paul bringing back the mid-range jumper, Mark. Do you think the mid-range jumper will make a comeback?
I don't think it should have went anywhere in the first place. I understand the analytics and what it says about the three-point shot, but give me a basket. Give me Chris Paul shooting a mid-range jump shot as opposed to, Mark Jackson shooting a three-pointer. He's going to make those at a high clip, and he's going to punish the defense, and they're going to have to make the proper adjustments.
Yeah, I like it. If they're going to give it to you, then take it. KD takes that mid-range jumper, and it's either somebody taking it to the hoop or somebody shooting a three, and I like that logic.
And even the guys not named Chris Paul or Kevin Durant, if the teams are going to back up off of you, like Giannis, if the teams are going to back up off you in a day to shoot a three, okay, establish a rhythm. Step 2 feet in, take a mid-range jump shot. It's an easier shot, and it allows you to gain a rhythm. So it's no coincidence why those two guys and these teams that embrace shooting mid-range, like the Phoenix Suns, have a legitimate chance of winning it all because partly of Chris Paul's mid-range game.
Michael Malone, the Nuggets head coach, said that Chris Paul, arguably the best point guard of all time, and I don't know if Michael has done a lot of research here on great point guards in the game, but seems like a recency bias there, Mark, that you just lost to Chris Paul and the Suns. Magic was pretty good, right?
Yeah, I laugh, but I don't laugh at the greatness of Chris Paul. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's had an incredible career, and he's certainly amongst the list of the top point guards that ever played this game. But he's not. But
he hasn't won. He hasn't won. Like,
yeah, I don't think that has anything to do with it because we don't say that when we throw John Stockton's name in there. He's certainly an all-time great point guard, and he's on the list also. But we don't hold that against him, and we shouldn't.
Well, he went to two finals. He lost against Jordan.
So see how we taper the argument. He didn't win. He didn't win a championship.
He
if
didn't.
That's the argument. That's the argument. Chris Paul winning a championship will not make him the greatest point guard to ever play the game in my mind.
No, it won't.
Again, we're talking about great talent and great, historically great players. Magic Johnson is the greatest point guard that's ever played this game.
All right, and second on that list is who? In
my mind,
yeah,
it's Isaiah Thomas.
Okay,
and not. I mean, the guy. Think about what he did. He was, and I faced him, so that's part of the reason I can say it. I watched everybody, and I faced him, and he was absolutely great.
Yeah, but you made him successful by guarding him.
We don't need to go there, though. The question wasn't how did he get.
Oh, okay, my bad. Is Steph Curry a point guard?
Yes, he is, and he's on the list. He's in the discussion. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he's an absolute, franchise superstar talent.
He doesn't lead his team in assists.
He is a point guard. I coached him, and I put next to point guard Steph Curry.
Okay. So you got Magic and Isaiah. Is Steph Curry the third greatest point guard of all time?
He's in the discussion. Then you got a list of guys that comfortably fit in the discussion where you can place them 3 through 10.
All right. Who's third?
I don't know who's third. I haven't looked through the list yet, but you got guys.
You play
like
the position. You know who's.
You have guys like Stockton, Kidd, Nash, Curry. Am I forgetting anybody?
Russell
Peyton,
Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook. Forgive me, Chris Paul.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to throw those guys in the discussion, and then it's which flavor do you like? They're all to me. They're all in the same area, and they're all historically great talents.
Now, who else are you putting in there? Charlie Ward, Muggsy Bogues, anybody else that you're putting in there, Mark?
No, see,
you're soft.
I'm fair, but I'm firm.
No,
I'm fair, but I'm firm.
Come on.
You have the disease of greed. I gave you the top 2 without wavering. Now you want to go through the list of top 10.
I'm just
curious.
curious.
Why can't we just enjoy?
How about top 5? Is that asking a whole lot?
No. I said I gave you my answer. When you talk about the first 2,
all right.
I got a clear-cut answer.
You're soft, man.
I know who's not in there. Dan Patrick is not in there. Top 10 point guard of all time.
No, I'm a shooting
guard.
guard.
I saw your game.
I'm a making.
You're talking about free throws because you're a knockdown free throw shooter. We're well aware of that.
Yeah. Should I be able to shoot better from the line than the Greek Freak or Ben Simmons?
Yes, because you had a full court hoop in your backyard since you've been 1 year old. You lived in the suburbs. You've been, you had the good life.
All right, you're right about that.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, it's great to talk to you again, and I'll talk to you in a couple of years, okay?
No, don't do that. Great talking to you, man. Stay
Thanks,
well.
buddy. That's Mark Jackson. Third on the all-time or fourth on the all-time assist list?